Welcome to another episode of Ballin on a Budget. I'm JP, chef and co-owner of Freebird Sask Soul Kitchen out in beautiful Lumsden. Today we're gonna be cooking up some shepherd's pie. There's a few differences and debates on what a shepherd's pie is and a cottage pie. Today we are going to be doing a shepherd's pie, which consists of ground beef, not ground lamb. Other ingredients in there would be some peas, some carrots, crusted with some mashed potatoes. We're gonna throw some fresh herbs in there. The shepherd's pie, we're gonna still try to keep our main goal, which is about $50. We're gonna be heading over to the Lumsden grocery store to grab the groceries. See you there. Okay, everyone, we're back at the grocery store. First up on our grocery list is we're gonna pick out our ground beef. See what kind of a deal we got here, and let's go from there. So right now, I'm thinking our best bet is we're gonna get these 2 packs right here for about $8.72 per pack. 2 packs of ground beef should do it for us, so thank you. So right here, we're gonna have a really good deal on the frozen peas and carrots. So if you see the co-op, the everyday best value, $2.98. We're gonna grab a couple packs of those. So the reason why I chose frozen instead of getting a fresh product is to save time and to save money as well. Prep time will be a bit shorter. I don't have to peel carrots, I don't have to depod peas or anything like that. So, plus we're balling on a budget. 1 yellow onion. All right, so next up we're gonna grab our topping, so our potatoes. So we're gonna grab these russet potatoes for $6.39. We're just gonna grab a pound of butter for our potatoes to make them all nice and smooth and creamy. We're gonna just grab our unsalted butter right here. There is no deal with butter, and butter will always be expensive. So just get it, $7.49 a pound, just grab it. We're just gonna get a little small thing of cream just to make our mashed potatoes nice and smooth. $4.29. Still gonna be expensive, might as well just get it. Okay, so what we're gonna need for our dish is a little bit of tomato paste. So we're gonna take all about the same. You can get this co-op brand, it's $1.39. Not much of a difference, but let's go for cheap. Next up, we're gonna go for some beef broth. So we're gonna go for our everyday best value, co-op gold beef broth, $2.08.
What's your price prediction for the?
I'm gonna say 49. Pretty close. All right, so yeah, it looks like we came under budget by just the nose. So we came at what, $48.36, and that is unreal good. So my prediction was pretty close. What did I say, 49, 48?
You said 49, yeah.
49, that's not bad. I know the butter and the cream, they add up big time, but that's like, that should just be a fixed cost in general. So everybody should expect to pay that kind of money for butter and cream. So let's go have some, do a review, reflection period time. So for our shepherd's pie, came in at $48.36 with a little bit of room to spare, very little. So let's go over what we got here. First up, let's check out our ground beef. So we came in at, one pack is $8.72, another one $8.69. So that's a good price on some ground beef right there. And then we have our beef broth coming in at $2.08, co-op gold, value of the day. Looking good. And then our whipping cream. So our whipping cream, we just got about a half liter, 33% of good stuff. That's coming in at $4.59, which is, there's no going around that. Just get it. Our tomato paste, one of the key ingredients for our shepherd's pie, co-op gold brand tomato paste, coming in at $1.34. Probably use about possibly the whole tin. Yeah, whole tin. And then our butter here. Butter's coming at close to $8 for a full pound of butter. I'm probably only gonna use about I don't know, a couple tablespoons, maybe a big knob, just for my mashed potatoes. And make it nice and creamy, nice and smooth, so you can spread them. Frozen peas and carrots. I went with frozen because it's gonna shave on prep time and it's cheap. And that's what we're looking for. Looking to ball on that budget. So I got 2 packs of these. These are coming at about $2.98 per, just a touch under $3. 1 white onion. And then for the topping, russet potatoes. They didn't have any individual ones, unfortunately, at the grocery store, but you can always keep potatoes in your pantry for whatever reason. Shelf life is okay on it if you keep it nice. That's coming in at $6.39. So we're gonna use a few of these. Roughly probably about 5 potatoes for this recipe, peeled. So right on. Other than that, yeah, we came under budget, $4.36 with a little bit of room to spare. Yeah, so, and that's great. We're looking for under 50 bucks, right? So, all right, let's get cooking, guys. So once you guys get into the kitchen, I want you to start preheating that oven at about 350. Might crank it up to about 400 when it's time. So to get out of the way, we're gonna make the topping for the shepherd's pie, which is the mashed potatoes. So we're gonna peel potatoes, chop them up, put them on the boil, set them aside. I'm using about 7 potatoes for this dish. Depends on how big your dish is gonna be. It all depends on how many potatoes you're gonna use. If you want to use a big one, amp up your potatoes. If you're making a small one, use less. All right, I'm just gonna give these a quick chop. I want some equal sizes, just for even cooking time. Okay. And just put that aside, let it come to a boil, make sure they're cooked. So I'm just gonna, with mashed potatoes, I'm just gonna have it ready. We're gonna pop in, it's about a half cup of cream. And we're gonna use about, let's say, half a cup of butter. Probably gonna use about a half an onion on this. So we're gonna go a little small dice on a white onion. Give some oil. Crank it up a little. Potatoes are bubbling. We're gonna start browning off our onions. Onions, browning, garlic, browning. Gonna start cracking open our ground beef. Gonna get some nice color on that, cooking it off. It's set to pop that in. So once we get this all nice and cooked off, then we're gonna start making add our tomato paste, Worcester, and a little bit of our flour, just to form some thickening agent, aka a roux. But yeah. And then after that, we're gonna add our beef broth, all of it. And since we got frozen carrots and peas, they're gonna cook really fast. So I'm gonna add those in last, so they stay whole. If you add them in first, you might have nothing left. So, texture. Okay, so now that our meat is looking almost cooked off, it's looking a little not lively yet for me. So we're gonna start adding our tomato paste, little Worcester. We're gonna make it all happy. Okay, we're looking almost evaporated down there. Turn down just a touch. Let's add some of this tomato paste. All of it. I'm gonna add my tomato paste. To that, I'm gonna add my Worcestershire, about a quarter cup. I'm gonna turn the heat off and add a quarter cup of flour. Sorry, half a cup of flour. Get nice and thick. Okay. Heat off. What we're gonna do is just incorporate everything together. Nice little, get some color on it. Everything's looking nice and incorporated. There's no chunky bits of flour. Looks like all the ground beef is nicely incorporated with the tomato paste. So it's gonna be like, having the flour there is gonna be our thickening agent. It's gonna make this nice little beefy, vegetable-y gravy. Beef broth, all of it. We let this come to a simmer, let it reduce down. Add our veggies in the next little bit too. Let's check our potatoes. Almost there, pretty much there. Another about a minute or so on those. Nice and soft. I'd throw some fresh thyme in there if you wanted to go over a little bit of budget, but it's all good. I just so happen to have some leftover parsley, which I'm just gonna add to it. And I found some leftover rosemary that I might just use up as well, so just a little bit. It's just purely taste-wise. I think everything can be optional. Adds a little more earthy feel, but like if you got something, if you got some thyme and some parsley in your fridge that's about to, you know, that's not getting used, add it to it. Some recipes will call for it. This one, it's optional. Like I said, it depends on how ballin' you want to be, right? Fine, let's just chop up a little bit of fresh rosemary. Some chopped parsley. Notice how it's, once it's coming to a simmer, it's getting nice and thick. So I want this to reduce down a little more though. Right about now, it's about the perfect time to add my frozen peas. We might not need any. Might be full. Yeah, let's not use the second one. I might overflow on this one. Sure looks good though. Oh, that looks good. It's thickening up nice. So like I said, when you add the vegetables, the frozen vegetables in, by the time it cooks and by the time the finished product comes out, you're still gonna have everything kind of whole still. Not overdone, not too mushy. That's what we kind of want. Okay, still keeping it on a nice simmer. Then I'll start seasoning it up. Okay, so my cream and butter is simmering. Nice, just nice and hot, that's all I want. Same pot, I'm just gonna add my cooked potatoes to the same pot. Just mash them. Somehow mash them with your masher. I just don't have my masher. So I'm just gonna add my cream and butter. So I just want to keep it hot, and it's just like, when you keep everything at equal temperatures, it speeds up your process faster. So, and it's just nicer, and it'll be easier to work with. You're not cooling down your potatoes either by adding a big knob of butter or cold cream. You know what I mean? So it'll be nice and easy to work with when you have to smooth it out over your finished product here. Okay. Now you can taste the broth, the beef, the carrots, a little bit of that wash, tomato paste, right? So when people are cooking, they're always like, oh, it's missing something, it's missing something. You salt or a bit of acid, should you always do it. So I'm gonna hit it with some good pinch of salt. Salt brings everything together. Good hit of pepper. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna splash a little bit of lemon juice to kind of round it out. Okay, so this is almost done. We're gonna let this cool down for a minute. So it solidifies a bit, and we're gonna scoop and spread our mashed potatoes on and ready to go into the oven. Okay, so our shepherd's pie mix is semi-cooled down. We're gonna add our mashed potatoes. Do a nice little layer. So add a little bit at a time on the edges. Nice and rustic looking shepherd's pie. Just want to be able to seal these edges before anything. Yeah, just to keep it in and have a nice little seal so it doesn't bubble over too much over the side. Still gonna look good. Plus, I want to be rustic. This is like homemade. I like flaws. I want to let people know I made it. Because I know you could get like some Swanson pre-done oven ready shepherd's pie. Right. And that was 7 potatoes. Not bad at all. So what I want to do, I'm going to melt just a bit of butter from our pound of butter, and then I'm going to brush this bad boy with some butter. Well, when you blast it in the oven, hopefully you get a nice little brown, little crust. Brown a little bit faster too. Okay, a little bit of butter in there. So we're gonna blast this in the oven till it's nice and golden brown, so probably about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I recommend putting in probably a baking sheet underneath, so just in case it bubbles up, you're not gonna have a mess in your oven. So if you have a convection oven, I recommend putting it on convection, little air, get that crust on. That's it. Let's see how that finished product's gonna go. I'm just gonna put it right here. Yeah, we're gonna keep it like that. Our shepherd's pie is done and out of the oven. You can tell when it's done when it's bubbling over the side. That's why you need that extra pan on there to keep from making a mess in your own oven. So I'm gonna let this cool down for a minute, but if you notice the browning on the top, that little bit of extra butter brush makes it a nice little crust over there. So there's no need for other presentation. This is the way it's need to be served. So it's just pretty much a scoop and serve kind of a dish. Well, everyone, that was our shepherd's pie recipe for Ballin' on a Budget. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Enjoy.